crafting and item management in Monster Hunter has always been incredibly important. And today we're going to be going over some tips and tricks on the best loadout to use to carry around with you at all times, and how to quickly be able to get items so that way you don't have to spend so much time farming and you can focus on hunting. Now, in previous Monster Hunters, we always had a large settlement where there was a farm that could automatically get you certain items as you went about your hunts. In Wilds, however, since we have these smaller camps, there is actually no farm. But once you get into high rank, you're going to be able to do some side quests that's going to allow you to get material retrieval. These are going to be NPCs, and they function essentially how the farm used to. You can send them out to be able to go collect items for you, and then over time you'll be able to pick them all up. Now, depending on the current environment, it is going to affect how easily these items will be collected for you. Now, each zone is going to have its own NPC, and each one will be able to collect various different items. Now, if you're familiar with the farms in previous Monster Hunters, the way they used to work is that every time you complete a hunt, you would come back and you'd be able to collect various items from your farm. The way it works in Monster Hunter Wilds is these items will be collected every time there is a day passed within the game. So even if you're able to do a bunch of hunts, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a bunch of items while doing those hunts. It's just going to be something that automatically collects items for you as time passes within the game. Now, the best part about this is I believe these items are even collected when you're not playing the game. So when you do log back on after taking a break, you may have quite a few items to collect. Now, you won't be able to unlock these NPCs until you get into high rank, which means you're going to need to complete the initial main story arc. So that's about 8 to 10 hours in the game, depending on how much time you spend farming up in low rank. Now, to unlock a par, you're going to need to go to Suja Peaks of Accord, and then you're going to head down south and you're going to be able to find a par here. Make sure to talk to her and complete her side quest, and you'll be able to unlock her as a material retrieval NPC. Next, if you go to the Scarlet Forest, you're going to want to go to the Woodwood Hideout. Once here, you're going to want to head inside and you're going to go to this giant pile of pink fur here to find a Plum Peach. The Woodwoods are absolutely amazing, and when you talk to Plum Peach, he's going to want you to go hunt down a Kongala to give him some of that sweet, sweet pinky goodness, and then you'll be able to unlock him as a material retriever. After getting to Hunter Rank 20 and completing your Hunter Rank 20 quest, you can then head to the other locations like Ruins of Wutheria, then go to Sild the Keeper's Vigil, and you should be able to find Tashin here, who's going to give you the side quest Astonishing Adaptability. This is going to have you hunting down a Zuwu, which is going to require you to be Hunter Rank 21 or higher. Once you complete the quest, you're going to need to make sure to head back to the Ruins of Wutheria and then back to Sild the Keeper's Vigil. Tashin should be back here now. After talking to Tashin, you're going to unlock Erasure as the material retriever, and you'll also get the new item traders here as well. Erasure has two items that I like: the Parashroom and the Might Seeds. Parashrooms are going to be great in combination with our sleep herbs, so that way we can get trank bombs. Now, what's great about these material retrievers is you don't have to travel all around the world to be able to pick up all these items. You can just go to Nada, which will be at any of your camps, and then you have access to all of your material retrievers while you're there. From Nada, you can also access all of your item traders that you unlock, which just makes things incredibly easy. Now, at my current hunter rank of level 30, I have access to 3 of the material traders. There will be 2 more that you can unlock, one in the Oil Well Basin, which you will unlock by doing optional quests in this area. And then the other one will be in the Windward Plains, which will be inside the Kunafa Windsong Village, by also doing the optional quests in this area. So just make sure to keep an eye out for any optional quests that pop up in those areas, and you should be able to unlock your other material retrievers. Now let's get into some of the items you're going to want to be carrying at all times. The Armor Charm and the Power Charm are going to increase your attack and defense. Unlike traditional items, you just get this boost for having them in your inventory. Once you hit Hunter Rank 15, you can unlock the side quest Secure Wounded Hollow, where you have to hunt 2 Harambis, Harambami, however you pronounce it. This is going to give you the defense charm. At Hunter Rank 20, you're going to be able to unlock as a Gatekeeper. This is going to give you the Power Charm upon completion. Both of these quests can be picked up in Suja Peaks of Accord, and they'll appear as optional quests, usually from one of these NPCs that look like these guys here. I think he usually sits on this little rock right here. Now, this is the typical loadout that I have with me at all times. I always make sure to have shock traps, pitfall traps, and 2 trap tools, so that way I can make more on the fly, which means I have to also bring nets with me and the Thunderbug capacitors to be able to make both traps. Now, this comes in super handy because even if you don't plan on tranquilizing and capturing a creature, using the traps in fights will allow you to lock down enemies and allow you to do a ton of damage. This can really speed up fights and comes in incredibly useful when a monster is enraged to slow it down. That way you don't have to either chase it around or to prevent you from having to deal with some of the more frustrating and dangerous attacks from creatures. Now do keep in mind these traps do not work on things like elder dragons, but for the most part they are incredibly handy. I do always carry trank bombs with me because I do prefer capturing my monsters instead of killing them because it does speed up the hunts quite a bit. I will be making another video in the future going over capturing and killing creatures and the pros and cons to each. I also always carry 10 honey with me because then I can make more mega potions on the fly, which means I also have to have regular potions that can be converted into the mega potions when I want. A max potion is always great to have. You can bring rations to increase your stamina if you need to, or to be able to use the barbecue grill. Antidotes, while not always necessary, the times that you do need them, they are very important to have. I don't always have them in my kit, but depending on what region you're hunting in, you might want to carry them. I also always make sure to carry mite seeds and adamant seeds because they do stack with your mega demon drug as well as your mega armor skin. So I'll pop both the seeds and the mega demon drug and mega armor skin so that way they all stack. And then if you really want to be an MVP, carrying dust of life, these will heal you and nearby allies when used. This can definitely come in clutch, saving people from carding. Flash pods are also really necessary, especially when you're fighting lots of flying creatures. There's nothing more frustrating than fighting a flying creature and it just stays in the air the whole time. The flash pods, you can knock the creatures out of the sky, causing them to fall to the ground and being able to do a ton of damage, which means I'm also going to be bringing the flash bug phosphors with me so that way I can craft more of these on the fly. Now, instead of carrying around the mite seeds, you could instead carry around demon powder and hardshell powder. And this will not only buff yourself, but it will also buff anyone else near you when you use it. Adamant pills are going to be another great option, as well as mite pills. Once you can start efficiently farming up all of the different resources that you're going to need for both. Depending on what class you're playing, dash juice can also be a great item to carry around with you. It's a bit interesting how they decided to spread out different resources across the varying locations. I mean, that is pretty common for Monster Hunter, but if you're looking for mite seeds, you actually can't really get them as far as I know until you unlock the oil well basin. One of the best things about the map is you can mark anything you want as a waypoint, and when you hop on your mount, it'll just automatically take you there, making farming up different types of resources much easier. Now, another thing to keep in mind is while you're manually farming these up, your Palico will also be able to collect items for you as well. So make sure they're nearby when you go to collect your items, so that way you can hopefully get some extra ones. So mite seeds are going to be coming from the oil well basin, and armor seeds can be collected in the windward plains. Now, if you are going to be manually farming up items, since you unlock all of your material gatherers, botanist is something you might want to invest in for an armor set bonus specifically for gathering stuff. Each level of botanist is going to provide you with extra items, which is going to make farming significantly more efficient. Now, once you get into high rank, you can easily get max level botanist by getting the leather set. You're going to need the head, the chest, and the gloves to be able to complete this, and it's really just an armor set for gathering up stuff. Speaking of farming up resources, you're going to need a lot of them when you get into high rank, so having a set for geologist is going to be very helpful as well. This will provide you with extra bones from bone piles and extra mining from mining outcrops. Thankfully, this is another incredibly easy set to make. It is the Chainmail A set, and you would also need the head, shoulder, and bracers for this as well, so you can't actually stack both at the same time. You'll have to use charms for that if you want to make one full set. With that being said, I really do hope that you found this video useful. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you have any tips you would like to share for your fellow hunters, please make sure to leave a comment as well. But I really do hope everybody is enjoying their time in Monster Hunter Wilds, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.